Tom Holland was not supposed to spoil this about Spider-Man Brand New Day.
I think no one remembers that I'm Spider-Man apart from one.
Nobody remembers that you're Peter Parker. They
No
know,
one
they know
remembers that
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man is Peter Parker.
Yeah, they
apart
know
from
Spider-Man. They just don't know.
one person.
Okay.
Zendaya's reaction at the end after trying to stop him from saying it is too funny, but who is this one character that remembers that Peter Parker is Spider-Man? The first and most popular theory is that it's the Hulk. Now, I know what you're thinking. In the Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer, we clearly see Peter Parker going up to Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner has no idea who he is. He says, "Oh, you're not one of my students, are you?" But I could definitely see it being possible that since Bruce Banner was in his Smart Hulk form when the spell got cast, maybe it just erased it from like the Smart Hulk Bruce Banner side of the character, and now that he's back in his regular human body, whenever he transforms back into Hulk in this movie, he will then remember that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. There are two problems with this theory, which is why I'm going to go over other characters I think are more likely to remember Peter in a second. But the first one is obviously the fact that Bruce Banner or Hulk have never met Spider-Man in any MCU movie, so they really wouldn't have any reason to know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man anyways. But the way you could explain that is that obviously he was very close with Tony, and we see them together in Infinity War and stuff. It's very likely that Tony could have just said like, "Oh hey, yeah, this Spider-Man kid I've been working with, this is who he is," and maybe showed him a picture or something off screen. But I don't think they would rely on such a big plot point being something that literally did not happen on screen in a Marvel movie. And the other problem with this is that when we see Bruce Banner turn into Hulk in the trailer, he's obviously chasing down and seemingly fighting against Spider-Man. If he knew Spider-Man was Peter Parker, why on earth would he be fighting against him? The second theory I see everybody throwing around is that it's going to be Sadie Sink's character, who we pretty much know is Jean Grey. It hasn't been officially confirmed, but all the signs and leaks and everything points to it. And obviously in the trailer, we see Jean Grey kind of hopping into the minds of different people, talking to Peter through different civilians. And the logic seems sound at first, but I also have some major flaws with this theory, because yes, Jean Grey can look inside the minds of anyone. In the trailer, we see her kind of jumping in between, controlling different people, talking to Spider-Man on the street, and we can assume that she looks inside the mind of Spider-Man, finds out he's Peter Parker, and that he has an attachment to MJ. That's why she's in danger in the trailer. The main problem with this is that this is not Jean Grey remembering that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. We don't even know if she's from this main MCU timeline or universe, or if the spell affected her at all, but she didn't know Peter or Spider-Man before this movie in the first place. So I don't think she's the answer to this. I think she's just going to simply learn using her powers, oh yeah, Spider-Man is Peter Parker. But there are other options. Number three, I think, is Doctor Strange, obviously the one that cast the spell. In Multiverse of Madness, he does allude to the thing that happened with Spider-Man. He doesn't just out Peter Parker right there, but it's never been confirmed that he doesn't actually remember who Peter is. So I definitely think it would make sense if maybe Doctor Strange still remembered who Peter Parker is, or maybe even Wong is somehow unaffected by the spell since he was the Sorcerer Supreme. And I'm not saying that Doctor Strange is going to be in this movie. It's already jam-packed with a million other characters, but they didn't say the characters in the movie itself, just that one person in the MCU remembers who Peter Parker really is. Following this logic, another option I think is actually Captain America. We know he's still around. He went back in time obviously at the end of Endgame, and now he's somehow coming back into the events of Doomsday. Maybe since he was technically in the past when Doctor Strange cast the spell, it didn't really work on him, and he still remembers whether he's in the past in the main MCU timeline or living in the Fantastic Four universe. Wherever Steve is, maybe he still knows who Peter Parker is. Now, I also think that Marvel's hiding that this is secretly going to be a Symbiote and Venom movie. If you want to hear all about that crazy theory, click the video above my head right now, and thank you so much for watching.